What is up, America? I am back and I am live, which means it is time for another episode of PlayUSA's Friday 5. I'm at Grant D. Lucas in the Twitterverse, at Grant Lucas in the real world, ready to hit you up with 5 things that are burning a hole in my brain. As always, be sure to like us, subscribe, and to get notifications when we upload new content, make like a member of the Blue Oyster Cult, and ring that bell. I need more bell. Alright, buckle in, let's begin. For decades, sports betting has gotten a bad rap. Match fixing, mob ties, bookies sending in cronies to clear a debt. This all casts an ominous cloud on the industry. Even today, as legalized sports betting expands across the country, these negative perceptions still follow the industry like a bad body odor. Sure, this kind of stuff has happened before, but today, it's a fractional percentage. But even those who accept and embrace state-regulated wagering are misinformed by sports betting mythology. Which brings us to today's 5 sports betting truths to crack the myths. Kicking us off at number 5, sportsbooks will suspend accounts for winning too much. If you ever came across a bettor who praises themselves as touts or pros, you've likely heard this before. Yeah, I'm not allowed at this sportsbook because I was too successful. This indicates that bookmakers hate winners. We're losing too much money. That's enough winning for that guy. Let's cut him off. For the most part, this is incorrect. Now, there have been instances when books suspend an account to investigate something potentially hinky, stuff like tampering or inside information, that kind of thing. But to be an innocent bettor being cut off just for winning a lot, you'd have to win a lot. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's rarer than me hitting a 3-leg parlay. Take my word for it, that's blue moon levels kind of rare. Alright, down to number 4. Teams on losing streaks are due for a win. And vice versa. It's something you hear plenty during sports talk shows. Don't sleep on these guys, they've lost 48 straight and they're due for a win. I guess. I mean, law of averages sort of dictates that. Same for a team that's on a hot streak and due for a setback. That gut feeling telling you to bet on that? It's not really a good rational source to place a wager. Absolutely, streaks will end at some point. Even in a lopsided matchup, undefeated team against winless, nothing is a given. That's the beauty of sports, the unpredictability of improbable events taking place. Like Stephon Diggs scoring as time expires to advance to the NFC Championship, or number 16 UMBC lambasting Virginia, or Washington Nationals without Bryce Harper winning the World Series over the Houston Astros. Excuse me. In some cases, your gut can convince you otherwise. It might even pay off, but it's probably not the best idea to let that be the devil on your shoulder. Let's move on to number 3. My misfortune is a product of bad beats. We love these stories. A team leads by 16 points, is covering a 13.5 point spread with 5 seconds to play. And a player on the losing side heaves a shot from 3/4 court and drains it. An unnecessary 3 to blow that cover up. What great fodder. Here's the thing though. Yeah, it's not a great feeling. It's a nice tale to tell. But consider that bookmakers set lines to be exactly where those kinds of games will end up. A 16-point game ends up as a 13-point margin on a 13.5 point spread? That's not really a bad beat, so much as it is prophetic line setting. So let's give credit where credit's due. Now, all that said, please don't stop posting about backdoor covers. Makes me feel better about myself, so thank you. Checking in on number 2, you can't win money on favorites. This is kind of a 2-pronged myth. First, the money line bet on favorites yields little payout, so some believe it doesn't seem worth the wager. I guess it makes sense, but when the favorite ultimately wins, don't you end up with more than you bet? Now that's a simplistic version, For point spreads, that's where the work comes in, paying attention to line movement. If the Kansas City Chiefs open up as 6.5 point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders, but enough action comes in on the underdog to move the line to 5.5 points, that single point is significant and can make all the difference. Now you might be more comfortable to bet on Kansas City to cover. It's that kind of detail that bettors find valuable in wagering on favorites. And our number one, big payout bets are the way to go. Dovetailing off the previous item, many bettors believe the best way to win is by winning big. And how do you win big? Gotta hit the parlay. Like I said, betting the money line on a favorite pays minimally. So what do greedy bettors do? Stack up a few favorites to increase the payout and maximize their winnings. Here's the thing though, odds in a 3-leg parlay, not as valuable as making 3 different wagers. In reality, making those 3 bets individually will net a return greater than hitting a 3-leg parlay. Plus, if even one team on your parlay loses, your whole bet is shot. But what a great story to tell, right? Nailed an 18 parlay. That story comes right after dadgum Markelle Fultz made a 3/4 heave to only lose by 14 points instead of 15. Yeah, parlays, while fun, not as valuable as you think. Alright, that's it for me, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Enjoy the week, stay safe, and we'll see you all again next week for another installment of PlayUSA's Friday 5.